everyone, and welcome to the stream. This is just a quick little fill-in stream, seeing as how Dave's got router problems, depending on where you're from. Be quite honest, I'd hate having routing problems, but hey, that's just the way these English people do things. So because he's got a bit of problems today, we're going to have a little bit of a fill-in stream just for the fun of it. Where the aim is to talk about weird news stories that have happened over the year. I know the layout's a bit rough for this display, but hey, what do you get at the last minute? We should have One Ring joining us in a little bit, and I've sent out links to a couple of other people if they want to hop in. If anybody else who we know in the chat's interested, either hit myself or Jeff up and we can shoot you through a link. It'll only be to people that we actually know, though, because we have bad experiences with people we don't.
Yes, people may know I found out the hard way with that, so lesson learned. But
say, we're going to have a debate about router versus router in the chat now, aren't we? I think I did well there.
Please,
my mission in life is done.
Yeah.
So
we got some odd news stories.
We do have some odd news stories. So
full disclosure, I haven't seen any of these, so I don't know what Jen.
No idea what's coming. So let's bring up the first one. So
I've tried to find one or two strange news stories of my own or whatever, just in case there's.
That's awesome. Let's go with the first one. Scientists say they went cuckoo due to laughing gas from penguin poo.
Okay.
So nitrous.
Interesting headline.
This is the headline. Nitrous oxide that was created from the penguin shit where the scientists were doing this experiment was enough to make them high. So scientists reported getting so high on the nitrous oxide emitted by penguin poo that it actually made them ill. Great job if you can get it, hey. Yeah, get your free drugs here. And we have Ring.
Hey.
Hi, Ring.
Hi, Ring.
So, yeah, this article was in Sky News earlier this year. So basically, whilst the scientists were working with the penguins on this colony, there was just so much penguin poo that the nitrous oxide coming off us, which is basically laughing gas, was causing them to get high and laugh and joke around. And be pretty nuts.
So you're saying the dental industry is getting a new supply?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
They probably have their own penguins out the back, just farming them.
Well,
they shovel them in the machine.
There you go. I'll just say to like illegal street racers as well. Don't waste a load of money on NOS kits. Just sold us some penguin shit.
I love this line though in it. Professor Bo Elberling from the University of Copenhagen said that the truly intense amount of nitrous oxide exhumed was enough to send someone completely cuckoo. You just gotta love that as a line.
They started placing eggs in other penguins' nests.
Confuse them. Maybe this is where the story of gay penguins came from. Really?
Possibly.
Maybe it's.
Who's to say? I don't know. I mean, how much penguin shit do you actually need to get high?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting question. They don't really answer that in the article, but yeah.
It'd be awesome if magic mushrooms grew on that penguin shit as well, but like it doesn't like cow shit and stuff. But
yeah, you gotta wonder: do people lick it or what have you?
Though I do know that they'd I I think it was either nitrogen or I think it was nitrogen that they'd distill from seabird and bat guano for gunpowder.
Oh wow, that's pretty intense.
Yeah. Yeah, because like gunpowder is like carbon, sulfur, and nitrogen, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll share something once you're done with this one. I'll share something in the privately in the chat, because it could be this could be quite a fun one, actually. So obviously once we're done with the penguins, so I'm
quiet compared to you two, so I can bring my audio up. Is that better, chat? I'm sorry, it's a bit loud for you two.
Hold on, I can turn my headphone down a little bit.
Is that better, guys? Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's a bit hard for me to see my own volume levels compared to everyone else's, so yeah, sorry about that. Oh yeah, zoos all over are definitely going to be questioned for the penguin poo, because it's a great source of laughing gas. Hi,
so coming next summer, the anarchist husbandry guide.
All right, let's put Jeff's up now. I think we've had enough of talking about penguin guana.
Well, if you thought that first one was going to be off key and disgusting, this next one is not going to improve. We're not going to be raising the tone much with this one, Jen. Let's just say that.
Well, let's see.
Okay. Okay, this story is doctors remove a mobile phone charger from a man's bladder. Doctors have removed a 2-foot phone charger from inside the man's bladder. Now, if you probably, I'm just trying to see here, there's the X-ray.
Oh!
The patient, 30, went to the doctors after complaining about abdominal pain last week. It's unclear how the lead came to get into his bladder. Doctors believe it was swallowed or inserted for sexual gratification. How that was inserted, the man is said to have had a history of accidental ingestion of headphones. Can be seen, curled in the X-ray. Let's have a little look. What else said? He was given a 2-day course of laxatives to alleviate the stomach pain before doctors performed a small incision into the gastrointestinal tract. Doctors then discovered the 51-centimeter lead and decided to perform surgery to remove it. You see these pictures here. Five medics performed a 45-minute surgery.
Wow.
Guwahati Hospital in North India last Sunday. Doctor who admitted he'd not seen anything in his 25-year career gave him a laxative to 2 days. We didn't know what to do surgery immediately. The patient's stool was examined, but nothing came out. Decided to do a small incision. He might have been uncomfortable while telling the truth, which led to a searching for the uncomfortable. Really?
Yeah, you gotta wonder about that.
I think I have. I think I've completely withdrawn.
He said, "I'm not exactly sure about his mental health. Some people do things for sexual gratification, but this man took things a little too far."
I mean, a lot of people go too far. Just ask any ER nurse.
But how does that work with a phone charger? That's just ridiculous. Hi, Granny.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, this one's brilliant.
Hello. As you can see, we're not.
I mean, what the hell could he have possibly got out of it? I mean, maybe if he'd done that with a small phone, I could get it. He has somebody call it and it vibrates, whatever. But this is the charger. How on earth is that going to be sexually gratifying for him at all? It's just what?
I'm not one to kink shame, but let's just say I've got a hard limit on that sort of thing. I'm afraid I have to say.
Yeah, I'm not one to kink shame either, but I am currently in sympathetic agony right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, but there's no need to kink shame on this. But I'm stupid shaming here. I mean, if you want to do that kind of thing, there are better items to do that with.
Plus, I'm sure there are toys for that.
Definitely toys for that.
And any toy for that would be much safer than I
wonder if he was shouting Armageddon. No, sorry, old joke.
I don't know. I mean, maybe he was. I don't know. Maybe his battery was only on like 10% or something. I don't know.
Aunt Jez, comment. It's the adult version of putting a bean up your nose.
Oh, I kind of liked Doc Fearsome's comment. 5G will get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but actually, maybe that. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe he thought that'd be some sort of protection against like the COVID from 5G or something. I don't fucking
know. It's dreadful, isn't it?
I just say this story is only like a week or so old for us.
Yeah, well,
you got a much newer one than I did.
7th of June, 2009.
The story also said he had a history of accidentally swallowing earphones.
Yeah, so it seems to me like he's got something about swallowing things.
Or swallowing / inserting things.
Yeah.
Definitely would appear that way. Yeah, there's a term for that condition, isn't it? People who just like to swallow weird stuff. Oh, is that what it's called?
I've got another one for in a bit, Jem, but if you want to do another one...
I'll pop up my next one. So,
hopefully it's better. Your first one was a bit shit.
I'll just say Metro is providing some awesome ones, actually, because I just Googled some like strange stories from this year, and Metro's given me a ton of them.
Okay. Pair hired for man's broom sexual fantasy turn up in bedroom at wrong address with machetes. After appearing in an unsuspected resident's room with knives at 6:15 a.m., the duo accepted their mistake by saying, "Sorry, mate." So these two men snuck into a bedroom with machetes after being hired to carry out a strange or sexual fantasy of being tied up in his underwear and stroked with a broom, only to discover they had gotten the wrong address.
And here I thought broom was some sort of
but the wrong address.
Slang.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be hired for something like this, you definitely make sure you're going to the right.
I think this is what I understand. From what I understand of BDSM, this is why you plan these things, these sort of scenarios out well in advance, and I think this is a good example of why it is that people who are into that scene plan a lot of these scenarios and games out well in advance. But not just part is
these people are from my neck of the woods. They're in Australia. This happened in Australia.
Yeah, so which makes it even more important that I dropped the obligatory Crocodile Dundee joke here.
That's not a knife.
Yeah, that's a knife. Well, Jen, you're breaking.
Oh, am I?
Oh, was it me?
Let's see. Give me a sec. I will stop sharing. No, I haven't got any drop frames. It might be you, Jeff. I think it was definitely Jeff.
Yeah.
We've lost Jeff.
I think it was Jeff.
Yeah, I think it might have been Jeff. Hey. So yeah. I mean, if you're gonna have somebody come in with come in with machetes and tie you up and then tickle you with a broom, make sure you give them the right address.
Yeah.
And I mean, these guys are so lucky that they didn't end up in prison over this, because basically they broke into somebody's house, threatened them with machetes, and tied them up before realizing they were at the wrong address.
Or dead.
I would have been fucking terrified.
Well, they're also lucky that the people who live there didn't kill them.
Oh, well, they're in Australia, so unlikely to have a gun. But still, if that had happened in America, what's the
Yeah,
chances
someone would
of
have
it?
shot them.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty dreadful thing to happen. Shall we bring up my my next one whilst we're waiting for Jeff?
But once again, not kink shaming, just mocking the execution.
Yeah, definitely a bad execution. I mean, I got nothing wrong with what the guy did. Hiring somebody to help fulfill your fantasy, there's nothing wrong with that. Legitimately, they were all consenting adults. The problem was the person in the house that they entered was not a consenting adult.
Yeah.
So it's pretty dreadful. Jeff said he'll be back as soon as he can. So let's put up the next one, which is... you guys can see what I'm doing. That's not great. Yeah, because I was meant to still be sharing that. That's fine. I think it's that one. Share. Alright. Was that it?
It's the same one.
Is that one, I believe. No? Yep. Coronavirus strip club offers drive-through service during US lockdown. The owner of the business says the main service that we're providing with this food delivery is a little bit of fun. What? And that food delivery, I like that. Food delivery.
Yeah.
So yeah, a strip club in Portland, Oregon has found a novel way to stay afloat during coronavirus pandemic. The Lucky Devil Lounge transformed itself into a Lucky Devil Eats, which has dancers deliver food and food to go, a drive-up service where takeout orders come with an in-car experience that includes performances, music, and lights under canopies. Again, not kink shaming at all.
Let's just hope that the dollar bills are thoroughly sterilized.
Oh, definitely. And the strip dancers are wearing gloves when they handle the food.
Yeah.
And masks.
And masks, yeah. I don't know. Do we have a picture? Oh no, she appears to be wearing a mask there.
And gloves.
And
Yeah.
gloves. Oh, well, there you go. It's all good, isn't it?
I'm wondering what they have covering the area that the cars drive into. They said something about canopies.
Yeah, I'm guessing they temporarily put something up in the car park so that people could drive through the back end, and there must have been some sort of like portable pergola put up or something like that cars could drive under.
Mm-hmm.
Every night is nurse night.
Hey, Donna. Oh dear. But you've got to admit, it is kind of hilarious that this is the sort of thing they do.
Yep.
I mean, that's entrepreneurship right there.
Oh, it certainly is. I mean, you've got to give it to them for thinking, hey, look, we can't open the strip club, but hey, if we turn our kitchen into a fast food place and we let the strippers go outside and entertain the people in the drive-thru, Brilliant. Keep making
Yeah.
money.
Also, I'm betting the whole canopy thing is to like avoid like
Public
Like,
indecency.
Public
Yeah.
indecency.
to avoid public indecency laws.
If you look in the background here, it does look like they've sort of just got it covering up to stop people viewing around the side as well. So
Yeah.
but it's still you got to give it to them for thinking about it, but it is definitely hilarious. So
I agree. You know, that was one thing I talked about in the video that I did on COVID is that there are businesses that are going to have to come up with a new way to do business.
yeah, and I'll grant
And-
this is ingenious,
It is.
hilarious, but ingenious. But why not? I mean, essentially, what's the difference between this and, I mean, they're obviously not stripping right down. So what's the difference between this and the old roller skate service in the car park that some diners used to have, with the girls on their
The
roller
amount of
skates?
clothing.
Yeah, the girls on
Tips
the
were
roller skates.
probably
in their little
better.
mini- The tips were better. Oh dear, I like that.
I think the moves that they make are probably more suggestive as well.
Yeah, probably. But well, hence why they need to have the covering around it to keep the young eyes out. But
Yep, exactly.
But I mean, having said that, it's no different to that. It's no different to something like Hooters or whatever, where you're encouraging people in with a bit of sexual innuendo. So good on them for thinking of something new, but it's definitely weird news.
And Aunt JR, I think it looks open air enough that exhaust fumes probably wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, and there's no penguins there, so they don't have to worry about laughing gas. Or men with brooms and machetes. So yeah. So the next one I've got here is Poland accidentally invades the Czech Republic in minor misunderstanding. So this was in the last week.
I'm guessing that they were involved in a military exercise and they accidentally crossed the border without realizing it.
Yes, this was an accidental border crossing without realizing it. So the story is you'd be forgiven for not knowing that the Polish military recently invaded and briefly occupied territory in the Czech Republic. Seems like headline news, sure, but it appears that even the Polish troops didn't know what they were doing. A spokesman for the Czech Foreign Ministry confirmed to NPR on Saturday that Polish soldiers mistakenly deterred our citizens from entering a church on the Czech territory in close vicinity to the Czech-Polish borders. Czech officials said the incident happened in late May near a small village known as, I cannot pronounce it, Perhumuri, and I butchered that completely, just across the border from Poland.
I'd give it, I'd take a crack at it, but I can't really see it.
Yeah, no, it's a bit hard to
You
read.
take a Krakow at it?
Oh, I see what you did there.
They added that their diplomats immediately notified the Polish counterparts and Polish soldiers are no longer present at the site, which Czech nationals have again visited as they wish.
So how much do you want to bet that exercise was led by a lieutenant?
When I was a kid, we used to tell Polish jokes all the time.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
It is kind of
that was-
racist to tell racist jokes.
Well, see,
But we all do it.
that's why I made it a lieutenant joke.
A lieutenant joke.
Yeah, because everyone knows that the lieutenant's always getting lost at the land nav course. And hey, Ilya Moon.
Hey, Ilya.
Hey, Elia.
So yeah, it is kind of one of those, yeah, that's like unbelievable. How did these soldiers not know where their own borders were when they were the ones who were supposedly meant to be controlling them? Yeah, well done. I mean, international incident that it really wasn't, but still hilarious. One of those nice little fun stories that had been two countries that were not so nice towards each other, could have turned into something particularly nasty.
True.
I mean, that's one of those things, isn't it? You've got to be really careful when you've got borders. I mean, it's not something we really have to worry about here in Australia because our borders are all defined by oceans. But,
So what happens if, like, say, the Indonesian Navy accidentally invades?
cross our borders, and there have actually been incidents where there's been maneuvers between Indonesia and Australia, and they've crossed each other. We've crossed each other's borders, and they've had to try and figure out where the borders are and get back in the right spots.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, yeah, you're probably less worried about it out at sea than you are actually on land.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy to drift off course a little bit on the ocean than it is. And it is a marked freaking line that borders countries. Yeah. I'm assuming there was some either natural phenomenon that highlighted this border, or a road or something like that, and the soldiers should have known where the border was and just had absolutely no clue.
Well, it also might have been the thing where, like, the border used to be a river, but then the river moved, and so there's nothing really marking that portion of the border anymore.
Jenny,
There's
I
a
did
lot of
say good
U.S.
morning to
border.
you. I did say good morning to you. You didn't hear me.
There's a lot of U.S. border that isn't clearly marked.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes, definitely. I will.
Heck, there are places on in both the north and the south where the border straight up runs through city or towns.
Does it really?
Yeah, like there's a couple of places on the Canadian border where kids have to cross the border 4 times every day just to get to school and back.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There was a house on the Mexican border where part of the house was in the United States and part of the house was in Mexico.
Yeah. Well, and heck, and like not even country borders, state borders. It's like that too. In fact, Fort Campbell, Kentucky, is right on the Kentucky-Tennessee border. The only reason it's called Kentucky is because the post office for the fort is in Kentucky, but most of the base is actually in Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
And that's why there's a town called Arkansas, and half of it is in Arkansas and half of it's in Kansas.
And I think Missouri City, or maybe Kansas City, is actually split between Missouri and Kansas.
You do get some really weird borders. There's a I can't remember where it is, but in a lot of places you get borders that are marked by rivers, as you said earlier, and usually the border is like marked right down the middle of where the river is. But there's a place in Europe where the border is the entire river. So if you are in the river, you are technically in both countries at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is just a really odd border. It's like, why? Why? Who has jurisdiction if you're sailing down the river? Who has to send an ambulance if somebody has an accident?
Oh, actually, that so this I've got a good interesting or possibly terrifying fact about Yellowstone that kind of segues into this whole border issue.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So there's a section of Yellowstone National Park where you could technically get away with killing someone.
Really?
Yeah. It's because Yellowstone is kind of split between Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho.
Yep.
Yeah, like I think Idaho has like a small, tiny bit of it, but it's mostly between Montana and Wyoming.
Yeah.
There's like a 90 square mile area of the park, where because you have, because of your right to be tried by a jury, they wouldn't actually be able to get a jury that lives in the area to try you. So you could get away with. So it's literally like an all crime is legal, technically an all crime is legal zone, because you couldn't be tried for anything you do in there.
Oh.
No, that's not the way that would work. Because you go by the voters in the county where the trial is being held.
Yeah, hold on.
Hi.
And
Ninja.
hey, Jeff.
Hi, I'm just saying I'm back in on my phone. It's if I might have to drop out again if I actually get my internet back properly. So
No worries, Jeff.
Hold on,
I don't know, it's just taking it. I don't know. It's just having a funny 5 minutes. So I'm not using my phone at the moment. So
No problem.
Okay, yeah. So it's the 50-mile stretch that overlaps where Yellowstone spills into Idaho.
Okay, yeah.
It has no roads or any permanent human inhabitants. And it's also missing legislation to prevent people from being charged with crimes.
But surely if a crime occurred there, it would fall under federal jurisdiction. So whilst there might not be a local person who can deal with it, there would be a...
Well, federal jurisdiction
Hey,
can
Jen.
only apply if it's a federal crime. It would be
morning.
state jurisdiction.
How are you?
Yeah.
Fine. There's some news that just came across the television.
Yeah?
The Supreme Court has decided that Trump's order to take apart the DACA program has to be vacated.
Yay.
DACA are the immigrants who were brought here as children, 1 and 2 years old kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he's trying to kick them out, even though they're a large portion of our medical staff today.
So it's basically saying
And-
his decision is unconstitutional.
Yeah, again.
Oh, I wish we could get the same decision on that as
Oh,
far as
he's
the
gonna
healthcare one goes.
he's going to be he is going to be having a massive hissy fit now.
He
Oh,
always
yeah,
has a
yeah.
massive
Just
hissy
what-
fit.
Just
His Twitter
just
tomorrow
watch
should
his
be interesting.
Twitter.
I just thought that was worth interrupting you guys.
Oh,
on.
no, it definitely was.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like-
well,
it's
definitely.
crazy news as well, so, you know,
It is. It's
crazy
it's
for a
good
different
news,
reason,
though.
but still crazy.
Yeah,
So,
pretty
I,
much everything Trump says is crazy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hopefully,
So,
when I can get my internet working again, if there's another funny story I could sort of share share with you, but
If you
so,
want to
I don't know what's going on. At the
if you
moment.
want to put the link into the private chat, Jeff, I will grab it and I'll grab it.
Yeah, it's going to be a little difficult on the phone, Jen.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
no,
I'd end up having to drop out. So
But I'm sharing the
you're sharing
the
something.
bit
Sorry, Ring.
about. Yeah, that's all right.
Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, but yeah, basically because Yellowstone Park is in Wyoming's jurisdiction, and the portion of the park that, the specific zone of death is in Idaho. And jury for, the jury.
I gotta step out and step back.
Yeah,
Alright.
so the jury to try the crime would have to come from people who are both within Idaho's and Wyoming's jurisdiction.
Oh, really? I'm going to have to try and improve
No,
the
it
output
wouldn't.
of this window.
Yeah.
Whoever wrote that is wrong.
Yeah.
I'm an attorney, and it's wrong.
Yeah.
It goes by the county where, or the courthouse where the trial is being held. You always draw your jury from the pool, from the registered voters in the area where the trial is being held. But actually, there would be federal jurisdiction there because Yellowstone is a national park. And because it's a national park, that's federal jurisdiction.
So, Yeah, so it'd just be held in the nearest federal court, I guess.
Yep.
That was all time.
But yeah, apparently a law professor wrote a paper on it, and he's wrong.
He's wrong.
Oh, that happens. People get wrong about things all the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm often wrong.
Especially like little like legal nitpicks, which is like most of law.
Oh, definitely.
That is so easy to do. And
Yeah.
and you can get such wide variance on opinions on things too.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I've got that set. Hopefully, I've got the graphics set out a bit better now, so that people actually be able to read the stuff we put up. Sorry about this. It was sort of thrown together at the last minute because of Dave's stream being off. So, but yeah, we thought we'd have a bit of fun with something that wasn't critical questions, but was just us all having a bit of fun and laughing at some weird news.
Yeah.
So let's bring up another. I've got another one here. So, yeah, not the sale bit. 5-year-olds stopped on US highway. Wanted to buy a Lamborghini, police say. So a trooper stopping a car with a suspected impaired driver on a US highway on Monday was bemused to find a 5-year-old in the driver's seat, the Utah Highway Patrol tweeted. After seeing a vehicle slowly weaving in the left lane of the Interstate 15, the trooper turned on his siren and the driver neatly pulled over to the side of the road. Dashboard camera posted by the police captures the conversation between the trooper and the driver, which has since been viewed on YouTube a whole heap of times, apparently. You're 5 years old, the trooper says. Wow.
I'm impressed that the kid could hit the
drive it.
brake and still see where he's going at the same time.
Probably like might have been like a farm kid or something.
Yeah,
Probably.
So the boy who was not identified as his minor said he had left his parents' home in his parents' vehicle after arguing with his mother, who had told him she would not buy him a Lamborghini. So he decided to take the car and go to California to buy one for himself. Logic, childhood logic there.
Well, fair enough.
Lamborghinis kind of suck, anyways. They're
Yeah,
really
yeah.
not all that great.
Apparently, he only had
they're
$3 in his
overrated, I
wallet.
think.
So yeah. So yeah, that
Well, if he
happened.
headed to the toy store, he could get a Matchbox
He
one.
probably
Yeah.
could he for that amount though? I mean, could he? Well, okay. I mean, Matchbox toys have got quite
Probably
expensive.
not with when you figure in the sales tax,
Yeah. So
Also depends on what year it was.
because sales tax in Utah is horrendous.
Mm.
It like
State's pretty proud
doubles
of
the
itself,
price of the item.
So yeah.
No way.
Yeah,
So you're saying 100% sales tax?
damn near.
Yeah, Matchbox toys
I
are not
don't.
cheap
I don't
anyway.
believe that.
Yeah,
He might have been
Yeah,
able to buy a
'cause-
little plastic non-Matchbox one though.
Right. Knockoff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not a Matchbox, not a genuine Matchbox, but a non-Matchbox Lamborghini, or he could have gone to an op shop or something like that, and bought a second-hand Lamborghini from a charity store. Gotta love his ingenuity though. Mum said I couldn't, so I nicked the car and I'm going to California to buy me own.
Sales tax in Utah is 4.7%.
oh,
How is that even close to 100%? And
Even so, I
4%,
mean,
4.7
Matchbox
is
toys are
low.
not cheap.
yeah.
It's 9 here in Alabama.
So yeah,
Wow.
It's like 8 or 9 in Chicago area. It's
Well,
Wisconsin is 5.56.
I mean, to be fair, I'm coming from I'm in Montana, a state that has no sales tax.
Yeah, and gravel roads. So
yeah.
And also because I'm a Montana resident, I don't have to pay sales tax in Washington.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Washington
be
has an
handy.
exclusion for Montana
Yeah,
residents.
yeah.
How about Idaho?
No. That's why you don't stop in Idaho.
And
Andre, he had $3 in his kid's wallet. His little Mickey Mouse wallet had $3 whole in it. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
can't imagine being able to afford to buy a brand new Matchbox toy in a toy shop for $3.
Yeah.
No.
although based on what they're
Oh,
actually
it's
worth, you
remember-
could buy a Lamborghini for that much.
I
Maybe from the Wreckers.
it's one of those things I wish I'd definitely something I wish I'd held on to a lot of those Matchbox toys I had now actually.
Some of them are worth something.
Yeah.
And you,
Some of them aren't.
yeah, especially you could say a lot of them we probably a lot of them I purchased for under $3 at the time.
So, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, why a lot of that stuff is like super collectible now is because it was all given to kids who, played
Wrecked
with them and destroyed them.
Yeah, so a lot of
Because
them
they
don't
were dumb
exist
at the time.
anymore.
Yeah.
It's why kids' toys are so valuable now, because they were played to pieces, literally.
Yeah. Or
It's a similar reason. It's just a similar reason why a lot of old comics are worth a lot of money because so many of them were like thrown out or recycled or whatever. The ones that are left are worth money. It's
but of course, but of course, investors in the 90s didn't quite understand that, which led to the whole.
They didn't understand that. They just heard that comics were going to be worth a lot of money one day, so they just went out there buying shit tons of comics,
Yeah.
not realizing that. Here's the thing: all the graphic novels they were buying are still in bloody print today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a dark time for comics.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, can you buy a comic for $3?
Well,
Yes.
You can?
well, yeah, you can. But my point about the 90s being a dark time for comics is because of the whole boom. All the big publishers were doing like stuff that would constantly shake up the status quo and just churning out like, oh, Superman's dead now. Better buy the special limited edition comic because it'll be valuable.
That'd be
Oh, Spider-Man was secretly a clone the entire time.
And now he wasn't, and the clone's dead.
Yeah.
Well, that one sold a huge amount in Death of Superman, which
Yeah.
is like anyone who knew anything about comics knows he's going to be back in 6 months' time.
Oh, of course.
Well,
you don't kill off your
Superman
money
die-
makers.
Didn't Superman die in that one with Batman and Wonder Woman?
He died at the end of his solo one.
That film was loosely based off the Death of Superman comic. They based it off.
Oh yeah, no, he
Death
did.
of Superman and Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, where
Yeah. So they killed him off at the end of Batman versus Superman fighting.
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck's the name of the dude?
Doomsday.
Doomsday.
Or it's
Doomsday,
supposed
which is
to
how
be
it happened in the
Doomsday,
comic
but it's
book
a
as
cave
well.
troll.
Yeah.
And Wonder Woman kicked his ass, not Superman.
And then they brought him back in the Justice League.
To be honest, that's the one awesome moment in that film was Wonder Woman's first appearance.
Oh, they did bring him back already.
Yeah, Justice League. brought him back.
I missed that.
Yeah.
I
I didn't see that one. I
the
guess.
only two characters I like in all of what they've done in all of that is Wonder Woman and Aquaman. I think the other character.
Shazam was really good.
Oh, Shazam was good, but it wasn't.
Shazam
He
was a
wasn't
lot of
actually
fun,
part
yeah.
of that. Even though they had the Superman at the end. I mean, he hasn't been in Justice
Yeah.
League and appeared with the other characters.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yes, the Shazam movie was awesome, but I didn't really like the Snyder Superman movies.
Yeah.
That Batman's not the same as the other Batman, and I don't find their Flash engaging. I think the TV Flash is actually way more engaging than the Flash on the movies. So
I'm
just glad they.
I actually think Ben Affleck was a pretty decent Batman done in that kind of whole Frank Miller kind of vein. But it's just it was just the story writing of that. It was not
the Batman versus Superman story was dreadful.
Yes,
it really was. Justice League was all right, but we really didn't have any attachment to these characters at all.
Yeah.
Well, that's the difference between
the thing is, and also it came out the same year as Captain America: Civil War, which had a lot more impact because we had gotten to know those characters.
Yeah. And the same with all the Avengers movies.
I enjoyed that one as well.
All the Avengers movies are full of characters we already knew.
Yeah.
I mean, the only exception to that would be Spider-Man was introduced in Civil War rather than his own movie.
I was just glad that they finally got Superman to stop wearing his underwear on the outside.
He's all latex now.
Every old school Superman fan who may be in the chat is livid at you right now.
I've been a Superman fan since George Reeves, okay? I thought it was stupid then. I think it's stupid now. He wears his underwear on the outside. There's just no point to it.
My brother used to wear his underwear over his pants to imitate Superman when he was a kid.
See? You got this whole generation of people that are screwed up about how to get dressed.
Superman doesn't even wear pants. He wears tights.
Yeah.
True.
And,
but my brother didn't have tights.
Yeah. And,
the onesie is much better.
But, you know where that those red undies come from, right?
No.
So it's basically hearkening back to like circus strongmen. So it was used as a visual, shorthand when Superman was made to say, look at how big, look at how amazingly strong he is. Because he looks, he looks like a strong man. He's strong
because he has a big package.
Because the strong men wore little shorts over the top of tights. So,
yeah. It's they designed his costume to be something like that of a circus strongman. So
if circus strongman,
actually that makes sense for the cape as well, because a lot of those strongmen wore capes.
Yeah,
it was part of the costume. So that makes sense actually. We're making our own weird news.
Yeah.
Indeed.
All right, I do have another one. So, hang on a sec. I'll bring it up.
Cool.
Where are we? Novelty toilet roll cake keeps Finnish baker in business.
Oh, I saw that one. Isn't that great?
It is. It's absolutely brilliant.
Wondering how quickly they sold out.
Yeah, local. So, a quick thinking Helsinki bakery saved itself from financial ruin due to the now coronavirus pandemic by creating a cake that looks like a toilet roll. And I've got to admit, that's damn impressive. That is...
Yeah.
Only problem I really have with this is, of course, during the time when it was so hard to get toilet rolls, if somebody had that sitting on that table, you'd be likely just to reach out to try and grab it if you were desperate to go. And then you get this handful of icing.
Jen, I'm going to drop out because it looks like I've got my internet back.
Oh,
so
awesome.
I can get off my phone.
Cool. Brilliant.
Right. That is impressive artisanship right there.
It is. It's absolutely brilliant.
I love 1-800-Flowers. They have some arrangements of flowers that are just really impressive. I gave my mother once an arrangement of flowers that looked like a cake, and once an arrangement that looked like a wedge of cake.
Oh. So hang on a sec. I've got to bring Josh
and then there's bakers who are doing all kinds of, well, I don't know what to call it. I'll just call it photorealistic bakery. That cakes that look like something completely different that are unbelievably realistic. Looks like a book, or looks like flowers or something like that. It's amazing what these folks can do.
It is.
So this is what's this is about cakes or something?
Okay, I'll reread it for your benefit there, Jeff.
Yeah,
not
I
many
might have
toilet
missed
roll
part of that.
cakes keep Finnish baker in business. So, so this guy in Helsinki saved his bakery from financial ruin due to the coronavirus pandemic by creating a cake that looks like a toilet roll. And you've got to admit, that is an impressive looking cake. I mean...
Oh, yeah. Because it actually does look like a bog roll.
Yeah, it does. I wonder if you could wipe your ass with marzipan. It's like...
I wouldn't want to try.
And you ask Badger, he likes the Battenberg cake.
Oh, he does. Badger loves his Battenberg, so maybe he'd like Battenberg toilet paper as well. You never know.
Yeah, I don't think as long as it's not been used, I think he might be.
And yes, epileptic skeptic. I'm fairly certain that we are now shilling a bakery in Finland.
Yeah, we're shilling a bakery in Finland. So go and buy your toilet roll cake because it looks absolutely gorgeous. According to the description, it's an oat. It's an oat batter, passion fruit mousse, and covered with white fondant. Fondant, not fondue.
Yeah.
I've shared one privately when we get onto our next
and the first
story.
5 cakes sold within half an hour. Oh, sorry, an hour. But no, I mean, that's absolutely awesome. You gotta love that. All right, so Jeff's got one for us.
Okay, now I've got to say once again that I know we've done a few of the stories already, and we don't like to kink shame here, but. You see the headline, everyone?
Yeah, I do.
And I know the guy in the picture is wearing the mask because of the plague, but the mask just makes it.
Yeah. It does. So yes, a man with shoe fetish stole 126 flip flops so he could have sex with them. A man in Thailand.
How do you have sex with a flip-flop?
You cut a hole. Well, if you're a dude, you cut a hole in it.
Well, let's read on here and just maybe we'll get some insight there. A man has been arrested in Thailand for allegedly stealing his neighbour's shoes in order to have sex with them. I won't name him, but a 24-year-old had a fetish for flip-flops and was found with a staggering 126 pairs that he'd pinched from locals in Thailand. Oh, there's an echo somewhere.
No, it's gone.
Okay. When they searched the man's home, they found his sprawling collection of shoes that he claimed he'd been collecting for more than 2 years.
Oh, wow.
He said he would wear them around his home, and it turned him on, police claimed. He allegedly told officers that after several hours of wearing the flip-flops, he cuddled and kissed them, stripping off and rubbing them on his body before having sex with them. Police said his collection included dozens of different brands, sizes, and shoes of all colours, all of them well worn. Vast array of footwear was laid out in front of the police station as part of a press conference on Monday.
That picture of all the shoes, that's just amazing.
Yeah.
Show that picture again.
Yeah, there we go. Jeff. That's too far. That's unbelievable. That I mean, what the hell?
Does anybody see any Birkenstocks?
I wonder if that's what Imelda Marcos was really all about.
It might be. I think we may have found that. Yeah, we may very well have. Okay,
that was Philippines.
Well,
this
she
is
did
Thailand.
like a stiletto.
Mm-hmm.
So
we all like stilettos.
He admitted. He admitted 3 charges of nighttime theft and snatching, possessing a digital transceiver without permission, and violating the COVID curfew. Police guy said this was not his first offence of similar acts.
What?
After After we arrested the suspect, we found that he'd been arrested for last year for stealing flip-flops in another district. He fully admitting stealing the sandals for lewd purposes, so we'll be detained at the station until a court appearance for prosecutors to decide on what happens next.
Why would he need so many? Does he do them just once?
I have no idea. It maybe it's a kind of conquest thing. I do not know.
I mean, it's better than some other conquests, I guess you could have, but still. I mean, we are not kinks, man.
Yeah.
But if your kink is to have sex with shoes,
I am.
buy your own. Don't nick other people's.
I don't think this is. I don't think this is as bad as the guy who had the phone charger inside of him. No.
Yeah, but
That's probably part of the attraction is the forbidden shoe.
Mm.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I wonder if it's like if part of it might be like the fact that it might like smell like another person.
You know,
maybe.
nicely
I don't
like
know.
another person though. I mean, this is a feet smell, unless he's got a foot fetish.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It because it said that all of them were well worn.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Aunt Jo just asked, how did he get caught? And
CCTV. It said in the article.
Yeah,
He has to have stolen, like, based on the times and stuff that they gave in the article. Like every 4 days, he has to hit up for another pair of flip flops.
so he uses them for a couple of days and then gets sick of that one and then moves on to the next pair. So he's got all these old jealous pairs of shoes in his cupboard somewhere.
Well, what I was thinking is that maybe it's a good thing he's in Thailand, which is like equatorial, and so it's hot all the time, and people would wear flip flops all the time, so they'd be readily accessible. What if he lived in the northern climes, where people
He'd probably be in
flip flop a few months a year?
He'd probably be into Wellingtons.
If he's having sex with flip flops, I don't think he's big enough to have sex with boots.
I'm thinking he may go down to the beach, and while people are in the water, he just runs along the beach and grabs all the flip flops.
Yeah, he probably has a bag.
It's not like you hang them on the lines out back,
right?
And dry them.
Exactly.
I've got another one. I suppose that was in this weird story that's a little bit more. Should you say a little bit more upbeat, and it's just because there's a bit more of a happy ending to it.
All right.
Okay.
You're
Oh, you shared me again. Okay. Fox rescued after getting its head stuck in a car wheel. I did a poor little git. That's a fun. Okay, his head stuck there. It's a little bit of a humorous image, I suppose, but knowing that he was rescued.
Yeah.
But depending on how the animal appeared inside this alloy wheel and been unable to get it out. Thankfully, the RSPCA, along with firefighters, managed to rescue him using special equipment to cut through the metal.
So they would have just lifed him.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
It's spotted in a road in Croydon, South London. Homeowners have been storing a spare wheel and called the RSPCA for help as the fox was desperately trying to free himself. They tried to do something themselves, applying grease to his neck to help him pull his head through, but this wasn't working, and the fox was becoming more distressed. So I guess they did the right thing there. And you see the pictures, obviously. That's how they cut him out.
Oh my God! That was cut with a carbon fiber wheel. That was a very frightening experience for that poor thing.
It was not
loud and sparks everywhere, and.
I mean, they had to get him out. As
I said, there is a happy ending with this, though, that they cut him out, checked over the fox, and he wasn't. He might have been distressed, but he wasn't actually like injured or anything. And they were able to release him. So yeah, weird story, but at least with a bit of a happy ending at the end. So.
Show the picture of the cut wheel again, please.
Okay, let me go down. So there, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, that
So
looks
it's a
like
form-
I cut it.
Okay, so those bolt holes are about approximately 100 millimeter center to center. I can't imagine how a fox would ever get their head through that fucking hole.
That's what I mean. It's amazing he got his head through there to begin with.
You'd think when he found out how hard it was to push his head, he would have stopped.
Yeah, well, you don't know. You don't know. Maybe there was some scent down there that was interesting. I don't know. Maybe something he thought was food down there. You don't know, do you?
Okay, I got a question for everybody. Let's see here.
Maybe there were like rodents hanging out under there or something.
You notice that it's a 4-bolt wheel pattern. But if you look at the design of the wheel, there's 1, 2, 3 slots, and there would have been 2 more above. Why did they do that? They have a design of 5 with a 4-bolt wheel, and then sometimes when you get a 5-bolt wheel, they have a 6-point pattern. Why do they do that? It's confusing.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I wondered that all my years in the car business.
Yeah, you know too much about vehicles there, Jen.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be quiet now. Thank you.
We
love you, but in that thing, you are more likely to know the answer to that question than any of us.
I'll get rid of that story, and I'd have someone else got something else they want to share. I'll try and find some others on it here in a little bit.
Yeah, I have one. I just got to grab it. So.
I have one for a little bit, actually. Yeah.
Alright, so we'll bring this one up. Give me a sec.
Oh,
you've got one. Oh, yours is up, Jeff. So.
Oh, okay. Let's go through it now. It's here then. Man fined £450 for a provocative fart in front of police officers.
Oh, that's brilliant!
I am a provocateur.
Okay.
I fart in your general direction.
Yeah.
Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries.
The headline itself is amazing, isn't it?
Yes.
A man in Vienna was fined almost £500 for farting provocatively in front of police officers. Austrian police were forced to defend the penalty after the when the Austrian newspapers revealed that the man had been punished for offending public decency. Officers argued that the offender was uncooperative and behaving provocatively for those leading up to the incident. They wrote on Twitter that the man had been sitting on a park bench before, getting up, looking up them, and letting go of a massive intestinal winds, apparently with full intent.
Now,
of course,
we have our lawyer here, don't we?
You got
How would you
fined for it.
defend
That's
against
unbelievable.
Of course, no one is reported for accidentally letting go of one. They added, the man can appeal the fine.
€500.
€500 fine. Yes, that's the story. Farting provocatively.
That's just a brilliant line, isn't it? Yeah, let's.
Yeah.
Provocative.
I wonder if it was like a backwoods town, kind of in the middle of nowhere. Like, you know how
it's Vienna. It was Vienna.
Yeah.
And doesn't
it's the capital city.
Doesn't that set rather dangerous precedent for somebody who's, say, in an elevator and drops one?
Yeah. Yeah, you could be saying somebody who does that is just trying to chat up the whole elevator.
Yeah. I'll be back. I'll be back in 2, Jen. Right?
No worries.
Instigating a riot.
yeah.
I mean, it just how is. I mean, I guess they mean provocative in that they're trying to provoke the police officers. They're not provocative in the sexual sense, but damn.
Phrasing.
Yeah. And how is that a law? How on earth is that a law? It reminds me of a story that my brother-in-law told me of a friend who was out to lunch with a friend, and there were cops eating in this restaurant, and a friend of this guy was looking over at this woman in this restaurant, and one of the cops got up and walked over to him and arrested him for thinking lurid thoughts in a public place.
Oh gosh.
What?
Could you
So
not?
there's a police, huh?
No. And the other cop he was with was like, "What the hell are you doing?" Because it's like, it's a law, and I'm gonna do this thing. I mean, it got tossed out when it got to court, even though it was actually a law. But it was like, what the hell? Thinking lurid thoughts in a public place. I'm sorry. I mean, whilst it is creepy to have guys do that, you cannot arrest somebody for the thoughts in their head.
Yeah,
damn it! I'd be getting fucking life imprisonment if that was the case.
Yeah. Here I thought thought crime was just for 1984 and the Bible.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's.
I make it a practice to lust in my heart. Quick, where's that from? Come on.
No idea.
Trivia.
It's from the Sermon on the Mount.
No, it's not. Well, kind of. It was from Jimmy Carter.
Oh, okay, that's what you're talking about.
In the infamous
where the Bible reference was.
No, in the infamous Playboy interview he did, where he also talked about attacking the rabbit with the paddle oar.
Yeah. See, I'm not old enough to know that.
Thanks, Jen.
I deserve that. Oh yeah, the Constable Savage sketch from the 9 o'clock news. I remember that. Alright, let's put up another one. Alright. Sex toy sales take off amid Colombia's coronavirus quarantine. I wonder why.
This is not news.
Whoa, what's that thing on the right?
Garrison Mondry holds up his cell phone to proudly show off his online sex shop. And a red banner reading "Sold Out" is plastered across half the products. So no,
wait, go back. I'm trying to figure out that one on the right.
Colombia, which is a little conservative. An online sex shop in Colombia is just things are vibrators are literally flying off shelves apparently.
Sex toys could help people keep their spirits up during long isolation.
Yeah. Yeah, that's brilliant. So Colombia has a very conservative idea around sexuality and communication surrounding it. So it's good for people to allow themselves to work on their curiosity and to understand that buying and using these products is a great thing. I couldn't agree more, to be perfectly honest. It's like, yes. So,
well, I certainly don't have any problem with it. I'm trying to understand, why would you think this is news? Wasn't it kind of an assumed thing?
It was. I'm mostly weird because the newspaper actually thought it was news. That's the bit that gets me.
Yeah.
They actually think that's news. Like we're surprised that people want to have sex toys when they're locked up inside their house.
Yeah, people who can't screw buy sex toys. Somehow this is news.
Yeah.
I've always thought that they should give prisoners unlimited access to sex toys. I'm serious about that. Why shouldn't they?
That's a good idea.
Well, that's true.
It would protect a lot of people.
It might be a little messy, but you can learn to deal with that. Of course,
should we do
them being
one?
out in the yard would be a whole different thing then, wouldn't it?
What would be different?
Lockdown would be different. Yeah. I would.
Yeah, yeah. Did you say use your toys out in your yard?
No, they have a thing for prisoners where they go out into the yard.
Oh, go out in the yard and have exercise.
Fresh air for the day. It's called being out in the yard.
Out in the yard, yeah.
What else would they do then? Yeah.
So what do they do for exercise in solitary confinement?
They don't. Well, they get 1 hour out. They get 1 hour out.
They get to walk around or something.
Yeah. Well, they have a private place where they're allowed to go outside. They're separated from the other prisoners.
Yeah.
I don't think they're required to allow them out of a building. I think they can keep them in a building if they're in solitary.
I'm not sure.
I'm certainly not an expert.
But I think even women,
think that might be a state-by-state thing.
Absolutely.
Alright, so I've got one more, and then maybe we'll wind up and everyone can chill themselves. Alright, so, yeah. Eat it. Hanoi chef spreads joy with Corona burger. You've got to eat it to beat it. That's the philosophy of one Hanoi chef who is attempting to boost morale in the Vietnamese capital by selling green coronavirus-themed burgers.
Green?
Yep, there they are.
Right, I'm a few seconds behind, so...
So he's been making these little green Corona burgers.
Sorry. Last thing I caught was on the sex toys story, which I was going to say something about.
You can't. Go on, say it, Jeff.
Well, it just reminded me. I don't know how familiar any of you are with the British sitcom Porridge at all.
I've seen bits of it.
Yeah, which was set in a prison, and the lead character Fletcher is talking to one of the prison guards, Mr. Barraclough, about and he's sort of saying about prison reform. He says, well, you should give us like conjugal visits, with our wives and whatever. And and it just happened at the time Fletcher had a copy of Playboy or something with him. And he said, like, well, how often the guard's like, well, how often does that happen? He said, oh, once a month. Once a month, that's more than I'm allowed at home. And then the next thing is the prisoner just hands him the Playboy. Says, there you go, Mr. Barraclough. Your need is greater than mine.
If the lockdown continues over Christmas, we'll need a Toys for Twats program.
About the burgers, why?
Is the Marine Corps going to handle that one too?
No, I think the Jody Association will volunteer.
Okay. So it's really nice to know that America isn't the only weird place.
Laughing in the face of the global pandemic, Chef Huang Tang and his team now spend their days molding dozens of green tea stained burger buns, complete with little crowns made of dough to resemble microscopic images of the virus.
I thought he was making the meat green.
No, it's the buns. We have this joke that if you are scared of something, you should eat it. No.
I think that might be why sharks are endangered.
That's why coronavirus isn't scary anymore. After you've eaten a burger, isn't the shame, but the virus itself. The way of thinking spreads joy to others during this pandemic.
No, actually, it's certainly a fun idea. It doesn't have any truth to it, but it's certainly a fun idea.
I mean, it's a good way to boost morale.
Yeah, it is. I mean, let's eat the virus. Get that virus into you. It's going to make you feel better.
And Ring, one of the reasons for the depopulation of sharks has been the Japanese craving for shark fin soup.
It
Yeah.
has.
where they will catch a shark, cut off the fin, and throw the rest of it back.
Yep.
And
Yeah, I knew that. It was largely a joke.
Yeah.
In the Mississippi River, there's a big battle going on with the Asian carp.
Yeah.
And that's the one that jumps up into the boat. And one of the recommendations is that we learn to eat them. Because whatever we eat
and
seems
actually,
to go away.
off the coast of Florida, there's a big problem with lionfish.
Oh, yeah, lionfish.
And making them into a delicacy was the suggested solution for those as well.
So you got one for us, have you, Jeff?
I do, and I'm not sure. Now, I've got to be honest, I'm not sure if this is the same woman that Team Skeptic did a debunk of recently. But do you just share what I got up on my screen there, Jem?
Okay.
Okay, so if you want to do have a look at a funny story, but also some maybe a little bit of an on the spot debunk of some woo if we want to.
Yeah, we could do it.
Does she have a yellow ice tray in here, or an ice tray with yellow stuff in it?
So once again, we do not kink shame here, but
I think that is her.
No, I don't.
We did her on movie night too.
Yeah, now I don't, because I don't know if her name's Tracy Kiss, 32, personal trainer. Now, I don't know if this is the same woman or not, but I know Team Skeptic recently did like a debunk video on someone who was promoting this nonsense.
I love the description made by using donations from her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Why doesn't she just give him a blowjob, for fuck's sake? I'm sure he'd much appreciate that.
Yeah. She says, she's drinking smoothies with a shot of sperm have helped her boost her immune system, and it's helping prevent the...
oh my gosh, that quote.
Yeah.
It's better to drink something that doesn't contain chemicals. Bitch, everything is chemicals.
You see in this, she's trying a vegan-friendly alternative. Actually, is it technically vegan?
That wouldn't be vegan.
No, that is such an inappropriate ad.
I think there's the argument that since she has consent, it's technically vegan.
I love the ad. All these kids talking about the vitamins and minerals they can get from what they're eating, and we're discussing somebody who drinks sperm.
Oh no, Dad, you've got to read this. I've got to read this guy. It isn't much difference to a mother breastfeeding her newborn to give them the nutrients they need. It isn't for everyone, but it's packed full of vitamins. If you haven't had cold or flu, I haven't had cold or flu since drinking this in 2017. I also put it on my face to clean up my skin.
Okay, once again, lady, we do not kink shame here. Just admit it. You have a bukkake kink.
Yeah. Why don't you just accept the facial and swallow like everyone else?
And it has just for the record, they are stating here this has not been verified by the WHO or the NHS. And the NHS and the UK government advised people staying at home to avoid getting the virus. But Tracy continued, it's best to consume semen as close to production as possible to get the most nutrients and benefits.
So why is she drinking it out of a glass instead of sucking it out of a straw?
Hold on.
And
but I often store it in the freezer in an ice cube tray as my partner, who does not wish to be named, and I have a long distance relationship. What?
So the insinuation here is that they do a bit of sexy video chat. He gets his little jollies off using his hand, and then he posts her the product of that, so frozen, so that she can put it in the freezer and eat it at a later date.
Oh my god!
I was thinking that if this takes off, you could probably do well by investing in, say, a cattle breeding firm and get their excess, and
that won't be vegan.
Oh no!
I mean, isn't sperm sperm?
I've got to continue reading
The
this.
semen might have different content anyway, so I mean, maybe better off with humans. But I'm pretty sure you could find some men who'd be quite happy to walk onto one of those automated milking machines and get their choice each day.
Oh my god!
The profitability would be amazing. I mean,
wouldn't it?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ricardo Oliveira says someone should ask Cosmic Skeptic how vegan this actually is.
He would have an opinion on it, I'm sure.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Listen to this, though. Listen to this. She continues. The quantity depends on how hydrated my boyfriend is on the day. I sometimes have a shot or disguise the taste in a smoothie with fresh berries and bananas.
So,
oh my god!
Yeah, okay. So you fantasize about mutilating your partner's genitals.
Hold on.
Lady?
Let me have a look at Yellow Top Icebox. This is her. This is the same woman Team Skeptic did a debunk of.
Yeah,
recently.
and why is that? And why is that stuff in the ice tray? Move down to the ice tray picture.
Yeah.
One more up. There you go. Why is that shit yellow?
Oh,
what's her boyfriend
he ran
got?
out of cum, so he had to send her something else from his penis.
Custard or something. I don't fucking know.
And then she talks about mixing it with fruit and bananas. Wouldn't it hide better in, say, yogurt or cottage cheese?
Having said that, all the goodness that she's getting for doing this is from the fruit, bananas, and whatever else she's mixing in with it, not from the sperm.
Not fucking sperm. She says she's looking at this from a health perspective. I think a lot of people try new ways to boost their immune system when they start presenting the symptoms, but it's too late. You must make the immune system strong prior to... Girl, swallowing your boyfriend's load is not going to boost your immune system, okay?
Could boost their relationship, but not the way she's
Well,
doing.
now, that we don't know that either. I mean, cum is mostly like what, mucus and proteins?
Oh.
I don't know that the mucus would be very handy, but the protein sounds usable.
Well, there's also a very good chance that it could be, detrimental to health.
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. The smoothies aren't any different to drinking honey and lemon water when you have a sore throat. Oh my god!
And can you take this as a suppository? I'm sorry.
Most people think I'm joking because it seems to be too good to be true that I'm being so open about a taboo subject, but I am not. No, you're not being open enough. You have a kink. Just admit it.
Yeah.
Yeah. She just says that. I'd be more than happy, but it's like, oh my god. She said it's just another natural remedy, but completely free. You don't even have to have a partner. You could just start asking a male friend who is healthy. Oh god, I think I'm going to pass still. Most people think I'm joking, but because it seems too good to be true that I'm being so open about a taboo subject, but I'm not. I'm going against society's norm to educate and help other people who are missing out on nutrients. I want to make a difference. This is why I'm sharing this home remedy. That's the story. Oh my god.
I wonder if her father taught that to her.
Oh my god. Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure if you meant it that way, but my brain interpreted it. That is very, very dark.
She's Australian, of course she meant it that
I'm
way.
Australian.
She's British. I thought she was British.
I'm half British, but you guys do the same dark humour, so.
Oh, right. Yeah.
No, theirs is a little bit more refined.
No, it depends where they're from in the UK.
Yeah, just to be absolutely clear, though,
It's gross.
don't think this. I'm sorry, do not think this is going to fight off the coronavirus. It's not.
Yeah, no.
It's not. It's certainly. Let's just say that certainly nothing that's been put to peer review or tests or anything. And
Hi, Terry.
I'm sure
It's
there's a better way.
It's interesting that it's legal to mail this stuff and advertise and sell this stuff this way, but you get thrown in jail. But you get thrown a fine for farting.
I mean,
It's just-
you can sell. I mean, they make breast milk ice cream, so
Yeah.
pros and cons. But yeah, it's highly disturbing. I mean, look, all honesty, if you want to get a daily dose of sperm, why don't you do it in such a way that's pleasurable for both you and your partner?
Yeah,
And
and seeing as she and seeing as she says it and seeing as she says it's best the fresher it is, girl, easy solution for you.
Straight from the tube.
And why is this okay? And allegedly Dave's, piss drinking not.
Yeah,
Well, it comes out the same hose, so
I could just say to her, look, it's been like 75 years since World War II, and people were always grateful for a warm drink back then.
she's in the UK, isn't she?
She is, yes.
You think allegedly Dave might be her boyfriend?
It'd explain the yellow hue.
It would certainly explain a lot.
Right, yeah.
Have we milked this for as much as we can?
Oh, come.
Oh, that's dreadful. I think we've had some amazing articles tonight. This has also been an awful lot of fun, everyone. Thank you all so much. I think we've done Dave proud in filling in for him tonight. So I hope everyone in the chat has thoroughly enjoyed it. So let's do something Dave doesn't do and go around and everyone can chill themselves a little bit. So why don't we start off with Ring?
I'm One Ring 42. I've done a bunch of edited videos, but I've been too busy because because I'm an essential worker, so I've been just sleeping after work. But every Saturday I do atheist/secular D&D stream. Starts at 1 p.m. Eastern time, and are usually around that time. Last minute adjustments do occasionally have to be made. And on Sunday at 8 a.m. I usually do media musings, but this week I'm taking that Sunday off as it is Father's Day in the US, so I will be moving that episode of Media Musings to sometime in the middle of the week. Probably, I'm looking at Wednesday, but I'm going to have to see how if my extra special guest will be available. But I'll have Jeff on along with the mystery guest to discuss The Big Lebowski.
Great fun.
And I have my certificate of ordination right here.
Yeah.
Ordained Buddhist minister.
Okay. So, Granny, tell us about it.
Coming up on Wednesday is the wedding of Darth Dawkins to Kent Hovind. That will be on my channel at 8:30 Central Time.
Oh,
and
what?
Yeah.
What?
Yep, Jen is a bridesmaid. I am the mother of the bride. We've made both Kent and Darth into brides, and Atheist Pastor is going to marry them. And I've got a little help with the production because some of the things that we're doing is a little beyond my skill, and it should be a great event.
Yeah, well, it's going to be awesome.
What time and date again?
It's 8:30 Central Time on Wednesday.
And
Should be fun.
just, I believe Darth's had to sign the prenup just on the basis, just in case Kent wins his lawsuit.
Brilliant. And Jeff, what have you got coming up?
Well, I've got it's probably going to be a little slightly different time, but I'm going to be doing my Asterix stream with Hissy this week. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be on my channel or hers this week. Of course, those who may be familiar, we're doing part 2 of Asterix and the Normans, as some people may be aware. I had a little YouTube didn't take too kindly to something or other on that stream, and kind of shut us down midway through. However, I did get the stream back. The appeal was successful, so it's just YouTube being stupid. So we're going to finish. We're going to do a part 2 to finish off Asterix and the Normans. That'll be a little later than we normally do it because I believe Hissy's got to work this Sunday, and also we're trying to not to clash with Hopswatch's stream as well. So
Awesome. And Jen?
Nothing.
No, I don't know. You're always on movie night on Saturdays.
On Fridays.
Or Friday night.
Saturday for you. You're in the future.
Oh yeah, but it goes into Saturday.
Yes,
for you.
Every Friday night at 11:30 Eastern. We do have movie night, where we have our science show with a drinking problem.
Yep.
And
I thought
debunk
it was a drinking show with a science problem.
Did I say the opposite?
Yeah, you did.
Oh well, no, it's a drinking show with a science problem.
Problem, yeah.
We drink so much it lasts this long before we're sober again.
Yeah.
But mostly I'm just a YouTube panel whore, and go around and sell myself to whichever stream needs to have somebody to fill in to laugh at.
Or laugh with.
That's my job.
Or laugh with.
Laugh with.
we laugh with you, Jen.
We always laugh with you because you're brilliant. We love you.
Thank you.
Alright, and yeah, you all know me. You're here at my channel. I'm Jen Zulukana. I have a video coming out probably Friday night for you guys in the US, Saturday morning for Aussies. That's going to be all about gravity. My video on female masturbation is delayed a little bit because I'm waiting on some collab videos that are coming in for that, and I've also got a poll going out that's asking whether I should do it naked or not. So there's a story behind that, but I'm not going to go into it now because it's a story for Six Pack tomorrow night, which I will be part of. So check out Six Pack when it's on. Yeah.
Don't you also have a really big show coming up?
I do.
Relative to Pride Month?
On Saturday night, US, 9 p.m. Eastern. There's a really big show that one of the shows that Jen Aldrich and I put together, the Jen Perspectives. We are having Jay from Nevermore Tavern moderate for it. We've got a huge crew that are part of the show. Jen will be on it. There's a whole heap of other people whose names I can't remember all of them right now, but there's going to be there's about 12, probably be about 12 people who are live within the group chatting, and we will be discussing J.K. Rowling and her bullshit. We'll also be talking about the Granny's part of it. Jeez, I'm hopeless, aren't I, Gran? And so Granny's son Robin will be part of the panel as well. We will be talking about J.K. Rowling and her bullshit, as I said. We'll also be talking about the new legislation in the US, which is removing rights for mostly trans people, but also other LGBT people, and also women in general. We'll be talking about the proposed legislation in the UK, which will wind back trans rights at least nearly 20 years if it goes through.
Yeah,
More than that.
Yeah, it's
fucking dreadful.
It's almost almost as bad as the clause 28, which was a horrible bit of anti-gay legislation that went back through in the 1980s. Yeah. This is the 2020s version of clause 28.
It really is. It's disgusting. And then we will talk about the one bit of good news we've had in Pride Month, which was the legislation regarding the fact that you can no longer terminate people for being part of the LGBTQ plus community in the US. So terminate them from employment.
Not legislation.
You shouldn't kill them either.
Jen, you should really present that a little differently. Was it Title VII? Is that?
I can't remember what the title is for
it. It was a Supreme Court decision, though, not a legislation.
Yeah, but it was on Title VII.
It was on Title VII. Yeah. Yes.
Which basically is an employment law that says you can't discriminate against these people.
Yes.
With the level of law and decision that this is, it's going to carry over to many other things.
I have
in the federal government,
that ultimately,
and will be very. Go ahead.
No, you keep going. I interrupted you.
It'll be very influential on state decisions and things that are going to be coming up. It could be the watershed moment for trans people finally being considered part of society instead of.
I totally agree. I actually have a feeling that the on movement from this actually could be enough for further court stuff to actually stop what Trump's done in his legislation. Because if you can't discriminate in employment, why should you be allowed to discriminate in the application of your business? How is that any different? So that's the same for providing healthcare and stuff like that. If you're not allowed to discriminate for one, why are you allowed to discriminate in the other? So and I think that's probably... And this is the real amazing thing about this decision is it came down with a conservative high court. This wasn't a Democratic high court. This wasn't a liberal high court at all. This was a conservative Republican high court, and they came down on the side of trans and gay people, and that's freaking amazing.
And it was 6-3, not 5-4.
Yeah, 6-3. It was an amazing.
So there's at least. I don't know what the current. Yeah, I'm assuming it's 5-4 in the favor of the Republicans at the moment. I'm assuming.
Also I don't know about one of those was an abstention.
Did Alito abstain?
Yeah, one of them abstained.
Okay, then it wasn't 6-3.
No,
but I knew it wasn't 5-4.
I just find it interesting that
no. The abstention wasn't on the positive side; it was on the negative.
Mm.
So, right, yeah. But that I'm surprised that. No, I'm not surprised. The fact that Kavanaugh and Clarence Thomas were the boofer and the boofer rapist and the sexual assaulter were the people who dissented against it. Yeah, it's.
That's not
the one thing to remember, and I'll just stop after this. I'll just make it one sentence. Everything that happened that's good about that decision could be overturned with one single sentence long law if it were passed by the Congress to change the Title VII language. It could all be reversed. So what we need is a Congress that will pass a new version of the Title VII with the language to include gay and transgender people, and get it passed and signed by a president.
But I know that they've done this anti-trans law and anti-women LGBT law already for health, and your government in the US has a track record for doing this crap. But if he wants rioting to stop in the US, he's got to stop trampling on people's rights, because the forward momentum is for an improvement in rights in the US at the moment, and I think if the government keeps pushing out legislation that's going to trample people's rights, that's not going to stop anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
So-
They're just going to keep sowing the wind.
Yeah, so
To borrow
it's
phrase
Black Lives
from the
Matter
Bible.
at the moment, but I have hopefully that momentum will move into including LGBT and everything as well, and we'll push towards a more solid change in the future. But I think we have come to the end of the show, everyone. Thank you all so much. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you to my guests. This has been absolutely brilliant, great, wonderful fun, and I think we've actually done Dave proud in what we managed to put together there at last minute to fill in for critical questions. And thank you all very much, and good night, everyone. Bye.
Bye.